Hey everybody, if you are wondering where my latest episode of Cinematic Excrement is, it did not survive YouTube's copyright filters. It is available on Blip, you can find the link in the description below, but it's not going to end up on YouTube. I tried to get it on here, I really did, using some of the tricks I used for my last review, like blacking out certain parts just to, the stuff that the filter was going to catch. I would have had to black out about half of it just to get it up, and at that point, why bother? If you're not going to be able to watch half of it, who cares? So, yeah, I'm sorry. For those of you who have trouble with Blip, I don't know what to tell you. If there's maybe another website that you want me to try uploading this to, I can give it a shot. I'm open to suggestions, but if YouTube is the only option that works for you, I'm sorry. I really am. Now, lately, I have actually been getting a lot of suggestions from people on how to get around this. And here's the thing. They don't really work. I mean, some people, said, try putting the footage backwards, just invert the frame. Sometimes that works. Usually it doesn't. Like, I tried that with whiteout, and it worked for about 24 hours before that got taken down. And I tried doing that. I tried all sorts of stuff to fool this one. I even tried blurring some of the footage, and that didn't work either. Just the filters are a bit more sophisticated than that. Maybe they weren't at one time, but Google has been working hard on them. So they're much better. And also, I know that, as far as I can tell, what I'm doing is fair use. I'm using it for purposes of review. You could even make a case for satire or parody or whatnot, but here's the thing. If you upload a video and it flags it as possibly having some content that's owned by someone else, the content ID match, it's blocked. It all depends on what the rights owner decides to do. Sometimes it's not blocked and they let it sit up there and they just put ads on your video and they just make money off the ad revenue, which is fine. And sometimes they just say, nope, screw it, block it. Now, if it's blocked, yes, you can dispute it and claim fair use. I have done this before, sometimes successfully, sometimes not. Because here's the thing. If you dispute it, and the studio comes back and said, yeah, you're right, you're right, it's fair use, then it goes up and stays up, and that's it. If they come back and say, nuh-uh, fuck you, then it is no longer a content ID match, it becomes a copyright strike. And if you get 3 of those, your account is banned. So, and I currently have 2. The first one happened when I tried to dispute Bucky Larson, and yes, you do have the option of filing a counter dispute, in which case the video goes back up, and if the rights holder wants it taken down at that point, they have to take you to court. Although I'm pretty sure, I'm not a lawyer, but although I'm pretty sure I am legally within the right, I don't want to test that because I'm afraid they might take me to court, and even if I win, court battles can be expensive, and it's just not worth it over a YouTube video. It really isn't. I mean, unless unless they somehow make a mistake and take down just like one of these vlogs that I'm doing now, something that for certain does not have anything copyrighted in it, and I can say, no, you're full of shit, and really embarrass the hell out of them, I'm not even going to try it, because it's not worth it. So yeah, the other copyright strike I got was actually not from a dispute, it was from World Wrestling Entertainment, who spotted one of my, a part of my No Holds Barred review, and flagged that. And they only flagged one part. It was actually the third part, which focused on the match and not the movie. But just in case, I took the other 2 down, because in case they find that, I don't want them to flag that too. So that's where I'm sitting now, and this is why I'm not bothering to try to dispute these anymore, because one more strike and the account goes bye-bye. So, and I think the strikes stay on your account for a year, so it's going to be a while before that clears up. So that is the situation. Hope you understand. But yeah, in the meantime, you can watch it on Blip if Blip works for you. If it doesn't, if again, I'm open to suggestions if you want me to try posting it somewhere else. Now, aside from that, I guess I can give you an update on a movie I saw recently, which was Jack the Giant Slayer. It's okay. That's really about it. It was very middle of the road. It's, not terrible by any means, but, the story, it revolves around, Jack, the poor farm boy who falls in love with the princess, who has run away from the castle because she's being forced to marry the king's advisor, who is much older than her and she does not love in any way. And, the king's advisor is also evil and is trying to take over the kingdom. And if this sounds like a story you've heard before, that's because you have. Many, many times. Disney's Aladdin certainly comes to mind. You replace the beanstalk with a genie, it's Aladdin. It's the exact same freaking story. There's nothing wrong with that on the surface, just, taking a similar story and putting your own spin on it. But you have to, add something important, something that will really stick with the audience. And I can't speak for everyone who's seen this movie, but at least for me, there was really nothing that stood out. I mean, the acting, nothing great, but nothing wrong with it either. Everyone did their jobs well. The visuals were very well done, especially the motion capture with the giants was very impressive. I didn't see it in 3D, so I can't comment on that. I've heard the 3D was good. But, yeah, as far as the story, there's just really nothing memorable in there at all. It's just kind of there. It's your generic fairy tale, and that's really a shame, because they probably could have done more with this. Especially if they tried to make it more Jack the Giant Killer than Jack and the Beanstalk. But sadly, it was not to be, and the result is a film that's just kind of there. If you're interested in seeing it, honestly, I'd say hold off, just wait for the DVD, because you won't be missing much. Even if the 3D looks good, nah, don't bother. So yeah, not much more to say about it, really. Yeah, that's how unremarkable this movie is. I really have nothing to say about it, good or bad. It's there. Shortest review ever. It exists. So, yeah, that's about it. I have next episode, of course, I'm sure you all know by now, it's going to be Breaking Dawn Part 2. It is that time. And I've already started work on that, so that should be fun. The Twilight movies always are. And it's going to be the last one, too. What am I going to do with myself after this? Yeah, well, they're done with the Twilight movies, but Stephenie Meyer isn't done, because what do we got? The Host, I think it's called. Yeah, we'll see what that turns into. I'm looking forward to it in a weird way, just to see if anything changes, but I doubt it will. So yeah, that's about it. Talk to you later.